really is. All right, so let's just shake out and wiggle out and get nice and flexible and loose and all a bit strange, but it doesn't matter because I'm the one on show, nobody else. And I'm just going to wiggle out my heels as well and my toes. And then find my feet at hip width distance apart, just checking that I've got nobody sitting in Etherland. And just finding mountain pose, wriggling the toes to find the gaps between them, and standing nice and tall, drawing your ears to line up over those centre seams. We never realise how useful it would be to have those pesky seams that are difficult to iron to help with posture. And then when you're ready, next time you breathe in, inhale, take the arms up to the left-hand side and reach up, come lifting the right heel up, and exhale, fingertips down onto the back of the shoulders. And just lift as you breathe in and look up. Inhale and exhale, feeling the stretch through the front of the body, watching for the low back area. Next time you breathe out, just drop the hands, swing and turn and lift. Inhaling up, drop the fingertips and stay there. Just feel a nice stretch coming down through the front of the body. Tuck your toenails under, and then exhale, swing back and reach up. As you breathe in, interlace the fingers, bring the hands to the back of the head, and this time lean into your hands as you lift your chin, and it's like lying on that beach. Relax the shoulders, pull the tummy in. Inhale, float the hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swing across the body. Inhale, lift up again. Interlace the other way about, and find that pillow, that cushioning effect, the back of the head, stretching to the front of the body. And then inhale, float, arms up. Exhale, and swing down and loosen. So just bobbing up and down, reaching the arms forward and back, a couple of swings. And then I'm just turning sideways on because you're going to swing, reach the arms back and reach forward with the crown of the head. Inhale, swing up and look up. Exhale, swing down and look down. Inhale, swing up. Exhale, swing down. Inhale, up. And exhale, swing down. Stay down now. Have a little sort of swing and loosen, brushing past the ankles. And then this week we're going to roll up. So tuck your tummy in towards your spine and imagine that you're dropping your tailbone down the back of your legs as you start to lift up. Keep the knees nice and softly bent. And then once again on the inhale, press your heels into the floor and stack your spine. And how nice does that feel as you stand? Roll the shoulders just a couple of times more. Elbows into the side of the body, making gentle fists with the thumbs reaching up. So inhale, hitchhiker the shoulders up. Exhale, move them back and down. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, back and down. One last time. Inhale, really feel as if at every sort of suck up, upward movement that you're getting a release. As the elbows come down. Well done. Shrug and shake. Put your trust and your weight into your right foot with a nice soft knee. And then pick up the left heel and just drag the foot over the mat. Just a sort of figure of eight, slightly on its side, across in front of you. And then turn the palms, imagine your fingernails are growing out of into the mat, or roots, or can't think of another analogy at the moment. So if you find yourself getting wobbly, just take the foot, and reassure yourself that the floor is there. It doesn't have to be very far that the hover happens. It's more about the movement. And then go back the other way, leading with the heel. And did anyone hear Dr. Michael Mosley on Sunday?
Yeah.
So this is why we're doing this. Balance is relearnable. It starts to get lost from the age of 35, he was saying, and then put the toes down. yes, yeah, yeah. He's done really well. Citizen medicine. Shift the weight and trust now into your left foot. Hover up the heel, and then just start to draw with your big toe on the mat. Just that nice infinity symbol, and looking up and out, and getting used to my new kit. It's less obtrusive, I'm hoping, but it's just different. And then go back the other way with tracing the foot, and then maybe you get brave and hover the toes a bit, and then bring them down, and then hover them up. And so we're in this way opening the joint. Go back the other way, leading with the toe. Is it easier to lead with the toe or with the heel? Feel those roots growing out of your fingertips, and then slow it down, bring it lower to the ground, and then stand. Shift the weight back into the right foot, pick up the left heel, turn the heel in and the knee out, and then slide the toes over the front of the foot and press down into the flesh of the toe pads. Look up and find something to look at that doesn't disturb your gaze, so you don't have to look down overly much or up, and just softly gaze at it. It's something that's not moving. I wish there were more notice boards behind me, little corners that you could, or light switches. And then bring the knee in and forward slightly so you've got space. Settle the foot back to its hip width distance. Find the middle ground, and then retrust the weight into the left foot. Right heel comes up, knee out, heel in. Drag the toes around, tuck under, and if you get, after a hard day's gardening or welly wearing, stiffness in the big toe joint, this should be really quite nice. If you can breathe into any stiffness, or walking boots, or been standing a lot, that joint at the big toe can get quite troublesome, and let its presence be felt, quite literally. Knee comes forward more into an alignment, and then setting back, and see how that feels. Shrugging and loosening. And have you got the blocks to hand? Could you take them now and put them on the long edge and up together one with each other? And have them on a sort of angle. So we're trusting our weight by the right foot. So we're trusting weight back into that right foot. Once again, breathing up the. Yeah, that's it. So they're on my right, thus, because I'm going to be putting my toes on them. So if I show you first. So just as we did before, breathing up the left heel, turning the knee out, sliding the foot back across the front again, but this time lifting up the thigh and the leg. So if you want to grab a handful of legging, by all means do. Put the toes down, and then let the knee, it's a little bit precarious as I've just demonstrated, if you press just the right amount, back to Goldilocks again, then the bricks are blocks. And if this feels, that you would rather feel less wobbly because what you're pressing into is less wobbly, then I always do that. And then just stroke into the hip, just smooth it out, just feel it, stretching and releasing as we do Nadi Shodhana, the sort of alternate nostril breathing. Just 2 rounds. So it starts and ends on the left nostril, so I'm not mirroring now. So inhale, think about the left nostril. Oh, peace. Exhale, think about the right nostril and breathe out of it. Breathe in through the right and breathe out through the left. Try that again. If you've got your hands out, maybe just bring them into an interlace behind the back and pull the knuckles down so that you feel that grounding sensation. Excuse me for turning my back on you. Nadi Shodhana concludes. Knee comes round to the centre. Step off the block. Have a look down briefly. Did you make any sort of an imprint in the block? Settle the feet to hip width apart, bounce the knees, swing the arms, and then swing them back and reach forward and tip yourself into a gentle forward fold and then hang. Move the blocks to the other side of your feet. Have a little swing whilst we're here. Put the fingertips down. Pick up that right heel again, slide the toes back and just have a gentle stretch through the back of the calf in the interim. So you're having, there's a right leg straight, left knee bent. Think about breathing in through the left and out through the right, in through the right and out through the left. When you've done your round, bend the knee, bounce a little and step forward towards the blocks and try that on the other side. So picking up the left heel, sliding the toes back along the mat so you've got a straight left leg and a bent right knee. Nadi Shodhana. And even though we're not using the mudra, the hand gesture, to close off the nostrils, it's just holding us back from being on autopilot and auto breath. Bounce and bend that left knee and step it forward, step the foot forward, and then as we did before, keep the knees bent, press in, dig in through the heels, tummy back and dribble your tailbone down the back of your legs. As your feet press in, you keep that sense of tailbone dropped and you roll back up again. And we're ready to set up on the other side. So trusting the weight onto the block side, the left side, breathing up with the right heel, turning the knee out, drawing the toes across, and then lifting up. So just a slightly different position for the hip to be in. So as you practice this, because you're saving these videos now, you can have this arrangement, this stack of blocks can be augmented with books, with whatever you like. You could also take it and hold onto the foot. Yeah, so you're working towards changes and interesting places, not necessarily challenge. So Nadi Shodhana, inhale, left nostril, exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right, and exhale, left. And I think Dr. Mosley mentioned this as a practice. It's very calming and quietening. Creates better pathways, neural pathways, that re-cements across the corpus callosum. Just like the switchboard, right to left brain. Bring the knee to the centre, and then lift and set off again, back to the ground. See how the backs of the legs feel? And just give them a little shake. How are we feeling? All right? Okay, good. What would I do if you said no? Going home now. That's enough. So have a little swing, but you'd be very entitled. So just bear that in mind. We'll step forward now so that the blocks are left behind us. So I'm coming quite close to the front edge, very edge of my mat. And now I'm stepping slightly in front of the blocks as well. So they've disappeared from view. And I'll change the angle fractionally so it's better for reviewing. Standing once again, breathe the arms out, soften the knees, turn the thumbs down, exhale and bring the thumbs and fingers into a basket weave behind you. Pull the thumbs down over the tail, look up, weight into that left foot, breathe up the right heel, turn the knee out, and now weave the foot out to the right and drag behind you, straightening the leg. Pick the toes up and set them on the blocks as close to the back of the heel, back of the right calf as possible. So, and then turn those toes down, shuffle yourself, and the aim is to feel, side front view on, the aim is to feel that you're getting a stretch at the front of the foot. So you've got your nail beds down if at all possible, and the knee is out to the side. You're right. Yeah. And of course change the position, toes tucked and then toes under. And just see how that feels and adjust. And then if we come into a further practice, in due course, after you've got used to this balancing, then we could hold on to the toes or use a belt to hook around the toes. We could build up this stack. It's no competition, it's just a change to keep it interesting and engaging. And then when we're ready, tuck the toes under, bring the knee round to the front and step back to both legs. And now do you feel as if you're slightly higher on the right side? And then shake the hands out, wibble the toes, and one last time. Inhale, reach the arms out, turn the thumbs, and bring the hands on the exhale, gliding and glancing, knuckles glance across the bottom, interlace the fingers, and then move those knuckles down towards the floor as you soften the knees. Breathe up the left heel, turn the knee out, pick up, and then reach the balls of the foot or the fronts of the toes onto the blocks, and just shuffle to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Let the knee drift out. It's not a normal position for us to stand in, hence why it takes a while for us to acclimatise and accommodate. Breathing in and out, in and out. And as I say, you can just hook onto the big toe or the ankle of your sock or some such, or use a belt at a later point. If you feel that this joint is ready for it, you can do that without interrupting the breathing. Nadi Shodhana. So next time you breathe out, knee comes to the centre and step off the blocks. And then come wide now, so you can step away from them and just shake out. Move them to the back of the mat. We're going to sit down on them in a minute. It may be 2, it may be 1. It depends how long your arms are. So just shaking out and then coming to sit down on top of those said blocks. Leave enough space, matting behind you so that you can lean back and turning your thumbs out, so that thumbs forward I should say, so that gives a whole arm rotation. You'll be able to take your weight back a fraction. So feet at hip width apart, hands beside the hips, lift your chin so there's that rounding position we did earlier, and lean back without slumping back. So lift, keeping the heart lifted, so you've now got a new graze to focus on. Loosen the jaws, stick your tongue out at whatever you're looking at. Take a breath in, and then stick your tongue out and breathe out. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pull those shoulders back. And then close your mouth and smile at the ridiculousness of what we've just done. And then just swing the knees left and right, just a couple of times. And has anyone noticed that they've got more saliva in their mouth? Yep, so that's really good for digestion, really good for keeping lurking lurgies away from your back of your throat. So now butterfly the knees, open and close them. And if maybe you want to put your heels of your hands down now and butterfly your knees a couple more times, and then set them still and hip width apart. Shrug the shoulders to the on-off position, on-off. So I think I've said before that COVID lurks in your throat and pharyngeal passages for up to 15 days. So you have got warning signs, scratchy, sore throats, and you can have a salsa gargle, use your Harvard oil and get rid of it. Okay, and there we are. Then we walk the fingers forward and come into cosmic egg. Shaking the wrists out, doing a nice loosening, and we'll come off the blocks in a minute. So just turn the head a couple of times, coming off one block at the very least, extending the legs out, stepping and extending. It comes to standing. So extend the legs out in front of you. Put your hands underneath the back of the left knee. Pull the knee up towards the chest. And going to breathe out with the arms. Exhale, now leaning your heart forward towards the front thigh and hug around that shin. Press out through the right heel and the right toes. If you feel that your knee is jamming or in any way compromised, put the spare brick, block, prop, whatever you've got, underneath the back of that knee. Nadi Shodhana, stretching through the back of the calf like we did in the lunge position previously. And when we want to come up on the inhale, left nostril inhale, press down through that left foot. Inhale, lift and open. Well done. Coming up to the nice upright torso, bring the hands down. Move the right hand across the front of the left shin. Take the left arm back out again and breathe it round so that you start to swivel and turn your torso. The fingertips now can come down onto the ground and just move the shoulder into the on and off position, waggle it around so that you're nice and soft and supportive. Reach out through the toes, through the heels, and the toes will pull up towards your shins. Inhale, take the hand back off the floor behind you, the left hand, move it round like a rudder, and then switch the clasp of the shin, breathe out through the right, exhale it round, move your torso. So the fingers may just glance onto the mat, or they may have to hover, or the heel of the hand might come down, depends on your height and your length of arms. Inhale, breathe the hands away from the floor, out to the side. Exhale it to the front of the shin and then collapse over in a semi-cosmic egg. So this pose is named after a great sage, a saint. So feel saint-like in your breathing, calm and serene as you waggle the right toes around and then press up to sitting, rolling your spine up like we did in the standing roll up. Keep the tail down and lift and stack your spine. So you come to this really positive upright position. Take the block out if you had one and wiggle the legs and then change over. So you're gathering up the right shin now. Breathing the arms out. Thumbs rotate down and then exhale, forward fold. Trying not to collapse onto the thigh but reach over. Pressing out now through those left feet. The more the toes pull towards the shin, the more stretch. So you can back off a little bit. If any sensation arises in the back of the knee, please be careful. Well done. Inhale, press down into that right foot. Lift your arms open like you're a tulip. Turn the palms and then reach them down and back round to the sides. Shrug a couple of times and then guide that left hand onto the front of the right shin. Breathe the right arm out and take it round. So think about posting a letter. Your tummy button is the letter and you're guiding it through the letterbox that is the front of your thigh. Fingertips will come to rest down on the mat, looking up nice and tall. Breathing in and out, alternate nostrils. Next time you're breathing in, lift up the right hand and bring it to the leftwise direction. Change the clasp. Breathe out through and open that other wing, that left wing, and rotate to the open side. There's more space now. So you're not posting through the letterbox, you're just flapping your leaflet around in fresh air. So you've got all this space in the opposite twist. Breathing in, take the hand off the floor and rudder yourself forward again. And exhale over the thighs. So trying to not to let the chin just drop down. Try to make contact with the front thigh and then just look down rather than nod your head. And then you can wind the ankle a couple of times. Left ankle. And then we're ready to come back. So press it on the inhale through the sole of the right foot. Lift and reach. And shake the wrists and come down nice and loose. Take the block out. And now we're coming to get rid of the blocks. It looks like the rain is about to hurtle down again. and come to the middle of your mat. You're going to, perhaps might want to watch first, but we're going to do the pretzel pose, so that's where we're cross-legged. So we've opened up these hips, so we're going to lie down, guide your head back as always, don't just come clattering down onto the mat expecting not to have a reaction. So we'll do the left side, left knee comes up first. You can help as much as you like and arrange the ankle over the thigh. And now taking care, we will have to wipe the floors, but we're just going to just swing forward and back, left and right I should say. Just swing a couple of times and then swing the knee in and out. And then combine the two and roll over. So the blocks would be very useful to ensure that we're not going to go too far. Yeah, so we can have them this height, we can have them this height, make sure that they are on a little angle and then they won't tipple over. If you attempt to have them flat to the ground, as we found earlier, then they will just rock. So at a slight angle, and there you are, just staying in your revolved twist to the ground. And then when you're coming back, you can just guide the legs back and give them a little bit of a supporting hand. So I'll take you through. So coming to lie down, guide your head back, bring your weight into your forearm, so you end up coming more down one-sidedly. That's it. Have your blocks to that right-hand side. Bring the knees to the chest. Well done. Have a little rock to begin with. That feels nice. Feet are floating for a moment. And of course, in any of these, if you feel that there's a message coming through from HQ, brainstem, to say, this isn't suiting me and or my back, then please come out gently and do this exact back freeing exercise. So now float your feet to the ground, and as you breathe in, bring the left knee towards the chest. Grab hold of a little bit of legging and reach down to grab hold of something around your shin or your ankle, and then hook the left ankle above the right knee. And just see how that feels as you lightly rock again, left and right, over your back, as you've just been doing. So this is your test, toe in the water. And if that feels comfortable, you can always come back to this at any point. Put your blocks ready, but before we come into the lying twist, let your knee sort of butterfly in and out as I demonstrated. So the knee is just waggling in and out a few times, so you can feel movement with the hip, the pocket area getting small, and then we're ready to come onto that twist, that rolling over to the right hand side. So check your blocks are in the right place, arms down onto the side of the mat beside you, and then slowly swing over. So your arms are like a pair of stabilizers, as with a child's bike, and just adjust. You're not going, it's not a question of going far, it's a question of just making a taster journey. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the, left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril and exhale through the left. On the second breath round, you might think, I could just, what would it feel like to roll a little further? Or no, I think I'm going to come back and do my breath round with my back flat to the mat. So it's your journey, it's your practice, it's your messages. When you're ready to come from wherever you've arrived at, just hold onto the legs a little bit, make a little connection there with your hands, and bring yourself back to the center. Help your leg unhook, left leg away from right leg, foot to the floor, see how that feels. Move your blocks over to the other hip, and then right knee comes up to the chest. Maybe you want to wind the ankle a little bit because it's been working quite hard, and then hook over the top of the left knee. let the knee hang out. Have a little rock, just to see how that feels with that hip slightly raised. The rocking action, the gravity work is giving you the option to a little bit of extra massage. It might feel really nice. And then you become still and waggle the knee. So just bringing that knee thigh just gently closer into the tummy a couple of times. And then we're ready to check in on those bricks that they're nice and high for the first round, if we're coming into the twist, but the hands are grounded. We wait for the inhale to lengthen the spine, left nostril, right nostril, exhale, and we swing over towards the landing platform. We raise the level of the floor up so that the right foot can make contact. And then we can relax back. We can let the spine release into that low sacrum area. No tightness, but just a little bit of a manipulation, self-manipulation, like the physio does. Soften to inhale and exhale. Second round of rest, you may lower the blocks, or you may choose to come back to the middle position. Enough, you'll know when enough is enough. When you're coming back, if you come further over, use your hands and guide the knees back to that central position. Unhook the ankle slowly, and then bring the second knee, the left knee, back up towards the chest and do jellyfish knees, working circles, floating knees circling around. Well done. Excellent. And then go the other way, nice and slowly. So let your knees hang apart and then drag together. Knees apart and drag together. If it feels a strain on your low back, move those blocks and put them under your feet so that your feet are raised from the ground, but much like we did at the beginning when we were sort of making the figure of 8, you can keep a little bit of contact to the floor, but still let the knees drop apart, slide over the blocks and the thighs come towards the chest, and the knees close, and the toes then have got a landing stage to make contact with, so it doesn't feel quite so foreign. So props are useful so that we can enjoy and lose the mental, some of the fear or uncertainty around the pose. So feet just are in a semi-hover, but without any strain. And then let's come over onto all fours. So you'll have to slide the blocks out of the way, feet to the floor, shuffle to one side of the mat so that you can roll over, and slowly remembering that you've been on the ground in this slight inversion for a long time now, so you need to give your heart receptors time to adjust, and then come halfway, 3/4 of the way, slowly all the way back up into all fours. How are we doing? Hips feel all right?
Yeah. Joe, when we were bringing our legs back up again, why do you saying guide your legs back up?
Yeah.
Why do we do that rather than using our stomach muscles?
Just to see it differently.
Right.
But tummy muscle. If you immediately started to think, oh, tummy muscles and flat back, by all means.
Yeah.
But we were going really gently last week, and perhaps I should say that. But there are so many ways of coming and bringing the legs back. But no, good point. We've got that on the recording now. So when you bring your legs over, think about the tone in the tummy, flatten the back into the mat, and see how it changes, and then do it again the other way about. And some days we've done more work and we don't have that connection to tummy, and some days we do. So, yeah. Okay, so let's make a little extra cushioning for knees, either with a blanket or with your for a pleat in the mat. So just pick up a little bit of mat, fold it back on itself, and the knees have an extra layer of cushioning. Hands under the shoulders and thumbs more or less pointing, well, more forward than together, let's put it that way. Index fingers at sort of 1 and 2 o'clock type of action. Knee to chest as you breathe out. Slide your toes away and once again give yourself a nice stretch. So if you've gone left side, that's fine. If you've gone right side, that's fine. And press down into the floor with this lunge. Exhale, knee to chest and look at it. And then look away and look up a fraction. Knee to chest again. And then knee out to the side. So it's hovering out around about you. Now you really will need to pull your tummy in. So keep a bend in the left or the right knee. Lift the knee and send that heel towards your bottom. So you're finding yourself in a gentle twist. Watch the knee. Keep pressing down through the hands. That's what's supporting that knee. And then let the knees travel back underneath you and back to the mat. See how that feels. So we do the same on the other side. So knee to chest. Then foot, big toe slides away to straighten the leg. Press down and out through the heel. Tummy in. Exhale, knee to chest. And try again to straighten that leg without pain to the knee. Okay, shoulders, where are they placed? Have you lost space at the ear, your earlobes? Try in the third time. Extend. You could look a little higher perhaps without straining the throat. Take a swallow and see whether everything has become a little tight or too tight for comfort. And then knee to chest, look down briefly, recorrect the head position, the hands, and the arm to the side, keeping it bent, and then move the heel towards your bottom, and look around without bending the elbows. So keep pressing into the floor. Nadi Shodhana breath. Waggle that foot, the elevated foot, just to convince yourself that all is soft and loose and flexible and really floating. And then knee underneath you. Tuck the toes under. Walk your hands away from their resting place and see whether you've got paw marks on the mat from all that work. Shake the wrists out. Anyone get paw marks?
Yes.
Hey, great. That's good news. Nice and warm as well when you put your hands back there. Okay. So find the hands resting place again. And we shall be coming now to a gentle bent knee down face dog. So keep your toes under. I'm going sideways. So I lose the warmth. Pull your tummy in towards the back of the spine. Tuck your heels and then move your bottom low to the heels. And then lift your bottom a little and have a paddle. Walk the heels out. We just stretch them, so should feel reasonably comfortable. Walking the heels up and down a fraction. Now, bring the knees down, back onto your little platform support, but bring the left knee back towards the chest and then out to a hover, and then set the foot on the ground. Grab hold of it and heel toe it to the front end of your mat. So you're now sitting in a half lunge. Okay? Tuck the back toes under. So you're going to straighten that back right leg in a minute, just like you did in the action for down face dog. So heel pulls back, and then knee bends and lowers back onto the little platform. Exhale, pull back, inhale, and lower. So gently does it, trying to extend through the heel, and then bring back down again. Walk the hands back, flatten the front of the right foot and press into the floor with the left as you breathe your arms up over the sides. Hurrah! We've arrived up at the top of the pose. Turn the palms out. Exhale. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Thumbs drag down over your sternum. Tailbone. Exhale. exhale, and then slowly, so watch the knee. The more protection you want for your knee, the harder this front supported leg is going to work. Forward and over and down. Where are your blocks? Okay. And then bring the hands, separate the hands, and have another tuck of toes and extend the leg away again. And we're going to use the blocks now either side of us. So if you can reach out whilst you're, it's a little bit of a movement. So you've just got the floor a little higher up again. And move them back towards the knees. So Mairead, watch with this one first and then decide whether it's a comfortable thing to do. Slide the blocks back, tuck those back, right toes under, and straighten that front leg. So we've got quite a bend in that knee. So for anyone who doesn't want to action this, come onto your back, and we get this same action, toes pulling down. Yeah. Right.
Can you just do that again?
So we've come from here, and we've taken our slid our blocks back with our back toes tucked under. We slide back, and then we've come onto these toes, and we've got to stretch through the calf. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it supposed to?
Well, that. so then take the weight. If it hurts the back toes, take the weight out a little bit, and don't stay there. Just walking forward and back. And if there's no point, so please don't labour and feel annoyed. You'd like to be able to do it, and it's not accessible. Come to your back, point and flex the toes. Point and flex the toes. Hold on to the ankle, and you'll get just as much stretch here and in the leg by doing that. Yeah. And so let's switch over to the other side. So slide the blocks forward, bend the knees. Now we have to disentangle ourselves. So we put the left hand on the instep and drag the foot round, and we come back to the all fours. Yeah. So we're now ready to come into the all fours lunge again. So if you're lying on your back, rock, bring your knees towards your chest, rock forward and back, and then come up on the other side, or stay where you are and join in with the new position. So hands on the ground, knee to chest, look away. Bring out to the side, step onto the floor, walk the foot round to recreate the lunge. So you're good where you are. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, bring the hands down, turn the thumbs, point them to the floor, interlace the palms, draw the thumbs over the tail. So staying with the breath. Exhale, forward fold over the front. So rather than scooping, you're sticking your bottom up. See if you can keep your tummy pulled in. No, you're good where you carry, do what feels comfortable. Yeah. And hands come down. Find those blocks again. And just stay for a moment in this lunging position. You could tuck the toes under of the left foot. And then we're ready then. Slowly slide back, straighten the right leg, and this is where you can roll back. So don't take the knee to a bend that feels uncomfortable, and pull those toes towards the shin. So that's exactly the same. You can see how this is the same action as lying on your back. Bring the blocks back so that you can lift the heart a little. Point and flex, point and flex. So if you're coming onto the other side of the lying down position, point and flex, point and flex. See if you can create as if you're opening the thighs are the two blades of a pair of scissors, and they will come apart. You know, if you have to use your hands to open the blades of scissors. So they will come apart more, you'll feel this more if your left foot is pressing to the floor and your right toes are reaching up and then pulling towards the shin. A couple of turns, quietly investigating, where am I sensing this? Where do I need to back off? Where do I need to explore more? And then, for those in this pose, walk your hands forward again, bringing the blocks with you. Okay. And then we're ready. We're all going to come up to standing via down face dog. If you don't want to do down face dog, please do bridge pose. Okay, so when we're ready, settle the front of the right foot, left hand into the centre, come back to your all fours. So breathing your leg around, come back to those all fours, move the blocks out of the way, hands back to the mat, tuck your toes under again. Hover the bottom, press into the mat and crouch, ready, steady, go. Lift your bottom when you're ready to, and paddle the heels. I think my clock. Well done. Okay. Knee to chest on the right side. Knee out behind you, keeping a bend, and then bring the right knee towards the bottom. Knee swings back underneath you, and foot steps to the ground. Paddle the heels.